What's up, YouTubes? It's Tony and
Danny.
And we're here with what we have agreed on is probably the 5th week in review. We lose count fairly easily, but I want to say it's the 5th. I do the Pokemon playthrough all the time, too.
Say it's the 5th.
There was that one play session where I was constantly one part behind. I was like, hey guys, it's Innes with Pokemon Playthrough Part 18, and it's like 19, and it's like, Anthony. But, Robitussin, she's not, at least you claim not to be sick.
I just...
And I believe you, because you don't, like, you know when someone's sick and they're like,
yeah, I'm not physically
You're not like that.
I'm not physically
I think you just have this weird cough going on. She's not sick.
I don't have mono either.
No, if you had mono,
think I have
if you had mono, you'd be fucked.
Yeah.
There was a coworker of mine who once got out of a weekend claiming he's like, I have mono, like I can't come in this weekend, and it's like, if you had mono, you'd be out for a month.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I got that special mono that only lasts a weekend, and it's like, now you're just making things up. Anyways, he no longer is employed there.
Okay, last Friday.
Last Friday. Thanks for getting us back on track.
Review for our midterms.
For C++, which is going on in like a few hours. It's gonna be hype. So the review was informative.
Very informative.
I feel a lot more comfortable after looking at my notes. And I know you have a lot of notes. And I have a decent amount of notes going on. So, I mean, we reviewed the course. We talked more about pointers, because we spent a good couple weeks on pointers. Talked about stack v heap, things like that. Some good programming concepts that we've learned over the course of this class so far. And I'm not intimidated by this midterm anymore.
6 pages of notes.
6 pages in all, but that's the entire course.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, so I don't feel
2 pages
too...
is the midterm.
Okay, I don't feel too worried about this one.
Yeah, because we get to go in.
The ones I was,
notes.
yeah, and it's open book. The ones I was really worried about are...
If he says not open book, it's like you just went back on what you said last year.
Yeah, no, you're a complete... Last year, for the final, a lot of us didn't think we had open book, even though the midterm was open book, and he was like, no, like, how could you do this to me? I think he was offended, because he was like, none of my tests are not open book when it comes to programming.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that's just logical. Like, when Tasso was like, don't use the internet, it's like, Tasso, like, come on, dude.
You're an arsehole.
Yeah. Why you gotta be like that, man? You gotta give us the internet and then be like, don't use it.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I saw some people Google stuff and I was like...
I was seeing a lot of people Google. I didn't personally, because I'm like, he said not to, that would be cheating.
That would be cheating. Thank you.
And I'm like, I can't do that.
At the same time, I didn't blame them. Like, Google it if you really want, but like...
Anywho, you should have studied.
So Friday was our review. And then... Did anything crazy happen during that review?
No.
No. Did anything crazy happen Friday? I can't remember what
I can't remember Friday now.
I didn't work. Or did I? No, it was my first Friday off.
What did we do Friday?
I don't think we hung out.
We didn't. I know we didn't hang out.
Yeah, you probably went with the other people.
Yeah.
And I probably...
I don't remember.
I don't remember Friday.
Okay,
I'm sorry, guys. Saturday. Our Saturdays start off very different and end up more or less the same and then become different again.
Yeah.
So, how about we start with you until I arrive at Poppers? And then I'll go until I arrive at Poppers.
I remember what happened now.
Great. If you could please start us.
I went over to Fred's.
Okay.
And he was playing, I think, costume something. It was a cute little kids game, but it was...
not costume party? I think I might have heard of a costume something game.
It was like a Halloween game. It's like, and this is what he said, I was on Facebook too, and it was like, I'm on a quest to save my sister, are you in? You had me at quest.
I didn't know what to say to that update, because I was like, that sounds awesome, but it's not from anything I can reference.
Yeah, and then frickin' he made cookies, and he's like, would you like a cookie? And I'm like, you had me at work.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yes, and so I watched him play that costume game, and I ate cookies. I think I ate most of them. I'm just like, oh my god,
I still have cookies
yummy.
in the back. Yay, I still have
And
cookies.
so that happened, and then someone else came over. I think Steve, not Ambrose, but
Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they played some NHL arcade, and that was just hilarious.
Oh my
to
god!
watch.
I remember when they did that in the EB that one time, or the GameStop down the street. That was hilarious.
It was intense. It was hilarious. But yeah, and then we headed over to Poppers a little bit before 7. We were sitting in Poppers for a bit. I had a white freezy.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Did they know it was a white freezy?
What?
Like when you said white
No,
freezy,
they
were they?
didn't.
Oh my god!
And
Did
Fred
you say
had to
Sicilian
Google it.
kiss?
I totally forgot what the hell that was.
You gotta remember the
Like,
Sicilian kiss exists.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, I think
Fred had to Google what was in it,
can't
and the
believe
lady
that.
actually got. It was okay.
They didn't know, but like, you know, they probably wouldn't have. Like, if you did Google it, she probably could have been like, "Oh, Sicilian kiss."
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they call it a white freezy at Lynx. That's weird.
Yeah.
This is weird world we live in.
Okay.
At least the drinks I order, people understand.
Okay.
So then I arrive.
Yeah.
More or less.
And we were watching the game.
And you're
more or
watching
less.
the Leafs game. Leafs v. I forget. Montreal.
I
No.
don't remember.
We won.
Yeah, Leafs won. They were down by like 4 points, and all of a sudden it's like, well, 3. They were down by 3.
Were they? I thought they won 3-2.
It was 0 and.
And 2?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
it
they
was
scored.
3-0, and then they came back, I think. And I'm like, yes!
I was paying so little attention to the game, to be fair.
No,
But
you just hear me in the background, yeah! While everyone else is talking, I'm just watching the game. It's like, frick!
I know. Okay, so my Saturday, we were gonna run the gauntlet, me and the other guys, and I was bringing my friend Paige along, and oh, did I ever tell you what I bought on the gauntlet this time?
No, you didn't.
I bought some kick-ass stuff.
You bought a 100-sided dice?
I bought a 100-sided die.
Doesn't work.
It totally works though.
It doesn't.
The main issue with it is tough to tell which side is on top. You gotta kind of be like. I don't know if she'd say that.
I don't know if she'd say that either, but...
Because usually she knows what side is on top.
Are you sure?
My imaginary she knows what's on top. Any hoodle.
Continuing on.
Robitussin.
Yeah.
So,
We have
ooh, I gotta
water.
make sure I don't make that joke too much, or this is gonna get very annoying. I bought, okay, other things that I bought, do you know do you know the NES peripheral, the gun, the zapper? Okay, do you know that they had like a headset
Yes.
that had that built in?
Yes.
And you'd like say a word and it would fire? And theoretically you'd say fire and it would fire, but you could say anything and it would fire?
It's like, donkey!
Yeah, it was like bang! So, I've wanted one for years.
And you finally got one.
And I finally bought one at ANC. I bought one for $80 in the box. It was
Brand
so
new?
weird. It's not quite brand new,
Oh.
because it's not like sealed and everything, but the box is pristine, like to the point where I actually don't want to take it out, because I'll ruin it. So I have one, and I'm so happy. I was so happy with that purchase. I don't remember what everybody else bought at ANC. I know Paige bought Artelanoco. Are you familiar with the Artelanoco series? Cool games. I've never played them, but I heard so much good stuff about them. Then, we continue along the gauntlet. I finally got the Sidereal Exalted book. So happy. So happy now I can play the Sidereal, but no one will ever let me play Sidereals.
Okay.
So that's pretty much all I
I do
bought.
what you're talking about, I'm sorry.
Well, you know what, yeah, we didn't really talk that much about Exalted, sorry. They control fate, is the long story short. So, that's pretty much the main stuff I bought on the gauntlet was that, the 100-sided die, and then I bought a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards. And then we made our way to Poppers, like we promised we would.
Yeah.
And, then we arrived. And,
Didn't you all get your drink on?
I got my drink on. But I didn't get too much of my drink on, because me and Paige both had work at 9 that morning. So, I got my drink on. And she was getting there. She was, whoa.
Just getting tipsy.
But I was like, I'm cool. The situation is under control, Danny.
Yeah, sure it was.
It was totally under control.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't the one who picked you up and almost threw you onto the subway track.
That was last time.
That was this time, too.
Oh my god, it was!
You forgot about that?
I totally forgot about that. It happens so often.
Me and Paige are just like... at this site is like, we think that you're like about to get thrown on, and we're just like, should we? No, I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure this is something they do.
You wouldn't throw me onto the
Well, like, the thing is, like,
he was drunk. But
I worry about drunk people forgetting what's real and what's not. And it's like, it's like, oh shit. I'd be sad.
No, you wouldn't do that.
But, so then you guys went back to Dave's, and me and Paige went to our respective houses and slept. Anything great go down at Dave's that I didn't get to know about?
I fought Fred.
You fought Fred?
While wrestling. And I pinned him.
You pinned him?
He's like, come on, Danny, let's fight. And then I'm like, what? And he just kind of fell over, and he's like stunned. He's like, what?
I figured Fred had
He was throwing his weight around, and I'm just like, okay.
I imagine Fred is having no ground game. I imagine as a stand-up fighter he's alright, but in terms of ground game, I never thought... Most guys don't have ground game. Like, I probably don't have ground game, because, like, who's used to being on the ground? Especially, like, underneath, like, you know, all 100 pounds of you.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck do
107 pounds.
What goes on now? So, like, I don't know, like, I probably have no ground game.
Yeah.
Hell, I probably have no stand-up, come to think of it. I just have reach. Yeah, yeah. Oh, the pokes. They're lethal in a way.
Everyone dislikes them.
They
say
sting.
they're painful.
In mass, they can be painful.
Okay.
But like if you do a light jab, it's not. But like man, if you get in there, you can cause pain. Like there, actually, you're not really hitting anything. You're just kind of hitting my flat. So whatever. That's my arm. So you can just keep going if you really want.
I'll probably end up hurting myself again.
Emily, whenever she punches me, it hurts her. I feel really bad for the poor girl. So that was pretty much Saturday. You fought Fred, I slept.
Yep.
Awesome. But Poppers was fun.
Yeah, it was.
And it was great seeing everybody there.
I think Saturday again.
What do you mean?
I think there's another. No, but we're just going to Fred's, I think. Oh no, let's continue on this week.
I understand. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you're explaining something that hasn't happened yet.
That hasn't happened.
I was like, there were 2 Saturdays last week. What the fuck?
Okay.
So Sunday I worked.
Sunday I slept, and I was questioned if I had mono again.
Fuck's sakes.
Because
and did you just have one Sicilian kiss?
I had one Sicilian kiss.
Okay. Because I was like, if you were like hungover as fuck, maybe you could fool somebody into thinking you had mono.
No, because we were supposed to study for math, but then it's like, math isn't this week, it's next week. Then frick that.
yeah, frick that, man.
And then they played video games. I just kind of slept.
Oh right, because you're still at
had 2 hours.
You're still at Dave's at this point.
I'm still at Dave's.
Sorry, okay.
And I slept for 2 hours. Well, we had an awesome breakfast. Dave made us breakfast, and it was completely amazing, but I couldn't finish it all. I felt so bad.
Oh, what the hell's the matter with you?
Oh, I don't have that big of a stomach. It was so good. Yeah, my voice is a little squeaky right now.
That's okay. That sounded like, I know it wasn't, but that sounded like, it sounded so fake.
I'm trying to clear my throat.
Fair enough.
Get a drink.
Alright. So then Monday, as we have been brought to, we had IT review, which he tried to fool us into thinking was the test, and I was like, nah, B, I know it's the review. And he was like, my name's John Paul, and I was like, that's okay too. And so we got a review for IT, and I don't remember the review for IT at all.
Read over his PowerPoint.
That's basically the review, right? And we're going to be doing budgeting math, which is not the worst math in the world.
No, it's not. It's really simple.
Yeah, it's just addition, really.
Yeah.
Addition, maybe some division.
No, subtraction.
Subtraction? Do you want to be subtracting? Why would you subtract?
Because certain payments and such forth, whatnot.
And then you want to multiply everything by 3 at the end, because it's a business. So that's the IT review.
What did we do Monday?
Monday I worked.
Monday I slept.
Because yeah.
And this is why people question if I have mono.
You know what? I
Actually, I studied for philosophy and for freaking Unity.
Right. Before work, I studied for philosophy. After work, I studied about 5 minutes for Unity.
Wednesday, I slept for 2 hours again after class. But yeah.
So is that everything interesting about Monday?
Yeah.
Tuesday, we finally have a midterm, but it's not just one midterm, mind you.
It's
two
midterms.
Yeah. So it's a big day.
It's intense.
It's a big day for everybody. And,
so I went into the philosophy midterm.
Oh, and I wasn't there.
I killed it in half an hour.
I wasn't there. Really? You got that shit done in half?
Yeah. He's like,
Oh,
okay,
man.
guys, it's half an hour. If you're done, hand it in type thing, and get out of class. And yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I should be done, but I'm done.
I think Tim said he was done really fast too.
Yeah, he finished after me, though. He wrote a lot, though.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
I'm like, I'm gonna do the easier one that I know.
Which one did you do? Because okay, so it was multiple choice and then one of two essay questions. The two essay questions were, I don't even want to go into them now.
Genesis and
Write about Genesis essentially, and write about
Augustine.
Augustine.
Compare, contrast, blah, blah, blah.
And then the second option
was
was
Aquinas and his beliefs and such and whatnot.
Yeah.
I did that.
You did Aquinas?
Oh, excuse me.
Nice.
Yes.
So, and you were done.
Yeah.
So.
And I handed it in and I just sat there and I looked over Unity stuff, but then I got bored and I started to draw.
So, I wrote my exam for philosophy in the test center. Humber has a nice little test center where we go and we write tests for special kids. And I wanted to be in the test center so I could use a computer so that I could not fail the essay based on spelling and grammar mistakes. So after a little bit of talking to at the test center and a little bit of talking to with the teacher, he was like, okay, yeah, you can go to the test center. So I get to the test center and I'm like, I'm at a computer, right? And they're like, no. And I'm like, it's kind of the whole point of me being here was so I could be on the computer. And they were like, and I was like, well, put me at a desk. So they put me on a desk. And I ended up finishing the midterm after about 50 minutes. I almost maxed out. And when I got to the essay question, I chose Genesis because I couldn't remember a thing about Aquinas. Halfway through my essay on Genesis, I remembered everything on Aquinas and realized how much better I could make that essay than this current essay. And I was like, well, I'm already waist deep in this essay, so I may as well just keep going. So I did the Genesis essay, and I think it came out pretty good. I didn't think I made a single weak point, so I'm pretty happy about it. So I think I did really well in philosophy.
Yeah.
And then we had philosophy class because, well, just a midterm isn't enough. You gotta fill out the day, Mr. Corey.
Doctor.
He's still a male. He's still a mister.
But it's only polite if he has a doctor's degree. Then
He is a doctor. He's a doctor in whatever he's a doctor in.
Yeah, philosophy.
I don't know if you can...
Doctor in that?
Maybe? I mean, for all I know, you can. I'm not saying you can't or shouldn't, but I just don't know. He's a doctor, though. You're absolutely right. He's a doctor or professor of some kind. So we had philosophy class where we began talking about some bullshit I wasn't even listening to.
I zoned out.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
At one point we were passing a note back and forth, because, grade 5.
Yeah.
And,
I'm bored.
And I'm just like, well, wait for Sod. And you're like,
who the frick is that?
and I'm like, oh man. I'm like, I don't even know much about him, but I know he's fucked in the head.
Oh, that's what he got to locate the Sod. And talked about his
writings.
Yeah.
And stories and
stuff.
And it's really weird, incestuous, dismembering orgies and just really fucked up shit.
Then Wednesday.
Well, hang on. We've missed a very important thing in Unity because Unity
was bull.
It was bad. It was bad. So we get to so we had an hour off, and I didn't really do anything in the hour. But we get to Unity.
I ate.
Nice. I think I ate. Eating is good. I was also in a really bad mood Tuesday, but that's for other things. And so we get to Unity, and bird. Oh, cool.
It's a seagull.
Yep. There's one way in the distance too. If you might not be able to see it. Do you have contacts in?
Yes, I do.
Dude, you might be able to see that bird.
Oh, I see it.
Dude, it's a bird.
It is.
It is totally a bird.
Okay, continue.
So, did you have trouble studying for Unity? Because, it was so broad that it was just I don't know what you want from me right now. And it's the same issue I had with pretty much all our midterms this year. It's just study everything. And it's anything I should focus on. And it's everything. And it's thanks.
Oh, frick you.
The one thing we were told is don't focus too much on Unity, or don't focus too much on XML because it will only make up a small portion of the midterm. And
But
it was it was almost half.
it was
Almost half of that midterm was XML questions.
And DOM and DTD.
Can someone tell me what a DTD is?
Door to Darkness.
Is that what you put? Because I think a lot of people put joke answers for that.
I didn't put that, but I really wanted to because I couldn't remember at first. I'm like, DTD, Kingdom Hearts, Door to Darkness.
I wrote a description on what a DDT is. I was like, a DDT is when you put the opponent's face underneath your arm and pretty much just drive it into the mat, and that's it. And I was like, yeah, DDT, it's a really cool move, and it, like, you know, upsets the balance of the match. And it's like, man, he's gonna hate me. Like, that does not beat the Time Cop answer of last year. Nothing can beat Time Cop.
I think that was Dave that wrote
that was Dave. In our database class last semester, we learned something called transaction control in our database class. And we didn't spend much time on it, so when it appeared on our midterm, our friend Dave is looking at it and he's like, TC? Does he mean the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Time Cop? So he writes, I wrote transit control, and I started going on about, like, the transit systems of databases. And that, Time Cop will always have a special place in my heart.
That's unforgettable type
it's
thing.
Great. Yeah, so my shitty DDT thing, not as good as Time Cop, but it's up there. But the midterm was so... I felt good about what I knew, and I knew a lot, but at the same time, the things I didn't know, I felt like it was unfair. It was like, I had no way of knowing that. And especially because some of the definitions he wanted us to know was that first week assignment we've never been given back.
Yes! Oh my god.
Right?
I'm like, I don't know any of this. You want to know why? Because you didn't give me my paper back!
Paper back. You've never marked it. Like, I don't know how... That's... Okay, so I have a big issue with this year, because I don't know how I'm doing in any class. Other than Blender, I don't know how I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I really
They don't give stuff back. They don't give stuff back.
They're like, I'm so busy and important, and I'm like, I'm a student. I don't give a shit about your life. Just mark my paper.
Mark my paper. Give it frickin' back.
Mark it well.
Yeah.
Because I put work in.
And I made this with typing.
And I made this with typing. So, I mean, I did the Unity midterm, and I finished. I think you were done. Yeah, everyone was done before me. I was one of the last ones out. Because I really wanted to remember what a DTD is. And what a DOM is. I don't know what a fucking DOM is.
Document Object Model.
I think I put Data Object Model. Bullshit. But yeah, that's stupid. I didn't know anything about a DOM or anything about a DTD. And it's like, how could I?
Spider bite.
Are you sure it's a spider bite?
I'm pretty freaking sure it's a spider bite.
It
and
looks
I've
like
just
some
been
kind of
scratching
bite.
it and hurting.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. Do your best to ignore. I know it's gonna be impossible to ignore.
It's impossible to ignore because it's like pulsating.
It's so bad.
It hurts.
She's got this bite.
It's a spider bite.
It's a spider bite.
And it hurts.
But Tuesday, did you do anything super crazy fun time Tuesday? I studied for Blender.
Tuesday. No.
Studied for Blender?
Yeah.
So we get to Wednesday, and it's Blender time. And the morning class is the review and a work period for your final model.
Yeah.
Where
I got a lot done.
you got so much done. It's inspirational. You're pretty much done your midterm model.
I have to do the gem on the forehead, eyes, and I have to finish the wings.
The wings might take a bit. The wings sound hard.
I'm redoing the wings.
You're just
They're
gonna
not going to be
redo them.
feathers. It's going to be
Like bat wings?
Yeah.
I always pictured him as having bat wings.
But I don't like that. Because he never did show me because he promised he'd show me. But I forgot to ask him when.
And he probably just forgot.
Yeah. So I'm like,
yeah, he's so easygoing. Like, he was probably just like, yeah, I'll show you. Just remind me. And then he was like, oh, I guess she found out.
No, I forgot.
Yeah. But, so we had that morning class where I got part of my... I'm doing a spider. She's doing a
dragon.
A dragon. They're both as cool as each other, you know? Spiders and dragons are pretty cool. So anyways, I got the ass of my spider more or less done.
Did you name your spider?
It's still under the name Project Arachnophobia.
Okay.
Because Because it's supposed to be the incarnation of arachnophobia. Like, it's supposed to be what everyone is so afraid of. And that might be what it turns out to be. I hope it is. I hope it inspires nightmares. So today I want to work on the lantern and I want to work on the scorpion tail. Because it has a scorpion tail. Like a spider or something. Anyways, so I worked on that. And then we had like 5 hours to get ready for the midterm. Where we covered a little bit. I was made a lot more confident by Tim because I was like, I don't know anything about Blender. And he was like, do you know this? And I was like, yes. And he was like, do you know this? And I was like, yes. Repeat that like 10 times and I was like, I'm good. And then we get in there. And it's 9 questions, like he said it was. And they're all short answer, like he said they were. And some of those questions were... ridiculous. They were difficult, some of them. Some of them were just poorly worded. One of them especially, I know, the class is given 2 completely different answers for. And half the class might get a really bad mark. Because they got a 0 on that question. Yeah. And that's...
due to the fact it wasn't
really wasn't worded
specified.
That well. I forget what he said. Like, this
he might give you the class, like, if he sees that
it's a common error, I think he'd have to be like, well, I fucked up.
Yeah.
At the same time, he could just be a dick and be like, you fucked up. All 10 of you fucked up.
But I went with edit, paint, render.
Yeah.
I went with that one.
I did that, but I couldn't remember paint mode, so I had to make up a few. Like shaded. Shaded doesn't exist.
Shaded?
I just put the word shaded and described what it might do.
I forgot one thing.
But I put things like wireframe.
I put on the side, you know how you can see transparency in that little window box? I thought that was a window. And I'm like,
in a way.
In a way,
you could almost call it a window.
Yeah.
Any hoodle. So that was the Blender midterm. You feel you did well?
Yeah.
I feel I did well. On all the midterms we just described, I feel like I did fairly well. Unity and Blender, I'm just worried about the questions I didn't know. And that was only, you know, the odd question, but still, I get really worried when I don't know something.
Yeah.
Thursday, we didn't have... We're already on Thursday?
We're already on Thursday.
We motorboated this week.
Yes, we did. Oh, we motorboated last week, too.
Yeah! Thursday, we didn't have a midterm.
But we did have 2 assignments to hand in.
We did have 2... We did? We had...
For math.
Okay, yeah, we did.
Technically, they're 2 assignments.
They are one big ol' assignment that could almost be considered.
I kind of did it last minute, and I didn't get user input to work, but I'm like, frick it!
But you got it? Okay, so
it doesn't specify.
It doesn't specify that it needs user input.
Say
if you lose marks because it doesn't take user input, you have the right to get mad, because it doesn't say, here's user input to do. It's implied that you should, but the client never says, give me user input. Yeah. So whatever, you give the client what they wanted.
It's like,
like in the same way that Tim did a Windows form and I did a console application.
I did a console application
I think most guys did console, but honestly, Windows form made it pretty easy.
Yeah,
it was
looking at that, I'm like,
it was a really good move.
I could have done that, but no, I had to go struggle.
Yeah, getting user input from the console to be in the correct syntax was a bitch. I need to show you it because it sucks and I hate it. And
You've seen my paper, my pseudocode paper.
Yeah, your pseudocode is actually more or less right.
Yeah, it just didn't work when I actually...
So the assignment was, I don't know if the correct term is identify, but I want to say the main part of the assignment was to identify a matrix. Take a matrix and make it the identity matrix. Yeah. So I call that identifying a matrix. And that was the bulk of the assignment. In fact, I thought until about Tuesday that was the assignment. And then either Andy, you, or Tim was like, no, dude, there's more.
Yeah,
you have to get...
There's part 2, aka assignment 2.
You have to do a...
Scale, rotation, or
transformation on a 2-dimensional matrix, not a 3-dimensional, so it's more doable.
It's really easy. Scaling was really easy.
Okay, so I was like, I'll just pick one. Rotation.
I went for rotation as well first, but
and I was
like,
rotation.
I don't understand the math behind this exam.
You know what? I got it to work with rotation, and I had the same error Tim had. And it was because we forgot that computers like radians and we like degrees. So the computers math.sine and math.cos are radians. So we were like, why are we getting these numbers? All we had to do, I'm pretty sure there's like, we just convert it to degrees after and be like, done. And we forgot about that. So I ended up switching, after I had my rotation done, I was like, screw it, I'm doing scaling. Because scaling's so easy mode.
Scaling's very easy.
I got that done after after about a half hour of procrastination and 5 minutes of coding, I was done. 4, 1 line of code, done.
You do pretty freaking sexy code.
My lady, I am the greatest. No, like, I'm better than...
Force.
No.
No, seriously. Did you have methods and all that?
Mm-hmm.
I looked at your code and I'm like, this is all over the place.
No, Okay, so the main loop you go through. Okay, so first it creates the matrix. So it asks the user for input, and it puts all those values into the two-dimensional array.
Yeah.
That is the matrix.
I should have used a 2D array. Why did I?
What did you do?
I just used a bunch of arrays.
Oh. Yeah, 2D was the way to go.
Yeah.
So I was just happy because I was using a 2D array. I've never done that before. I was so proud of myself. And then so it gets the thing, and then it calls a method called
we should
solve.
get through our week, shouldn't we? We're still talking about assignment. We haven't even talked about Thursday.
Well, but now I'm explaining to you why my code doesn't suck. I'll tell you, the one method sucks.
It works. It doesn't suck.
There's one method that sucks, and everything else is some of the best code I've ever written.
Okay.
Because I wrote that method first, and I feel like I could sum up this like 100-line method into like 30 lines if I for looped it. And I'm gonna try to, just because I am sadistic. Oh wow, yeah, you could really do it. Yeah, I know how to do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this weekend.
Go do that.
Not this weekend. I'm too busy with Blender. So my code doesn't suck. It can be brute force at times, though.
It's very.
I am probably the most brute force programmer in the class.
Yeah, you are.
And I'm probably the one who takes naming conventions the least seriously.
I don't know. I have my tempo.
Tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta love tempo. I think I'm just gonna call my eyes tempo from now on.
Don't do that.
Oh, I want to call them tempo. Anyhoodle. So Thursday, more important. So Thursday morning, I finished that assignment and I handed in.
Yeah.
And everybody's happy.
And basically, we ignored C++. I feel so bad. I'm like, I should really be working on C++, but this stupid math needs to be done.
I was working on the C++ thing, but I'm
Work
still
on it.
really deer in the headlights when I'm working in C++. Like, I'm still really bad at it. Soon enough, I think I'll be fine, but right now it's like I'm struggle bearing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably doing well in the class, but C++ is a tough language for me to grasp.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's where it comes down to with this whole Java v C++ first thing. Like, a lot of guys want to teach C++ first because it's harder and you get used to it faster. I really got to agree with the Java first, but that's something probably for... Oh, you agree with the Java first? Thank God. Because that could be a really heated discussion that would never actually resolve anything.
Yeah.
Java first, I feel, is a great idea.
Yes.
But maybe we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, let's finish the day.
So we did C++. Our new assignment is to make a 8x8 grid of dots. That's it.
Yeah.
And that should really be easy, but I'm still so deer in the headlights that it's like I don't even want to try, because like that's my issue. I'm too afraid to like get something wrong, so I don't want to do anything. That's my issue right now. I need to get that out of me.
I need to get 2010 online so I can actually try it.
Yeah.
Because 2008's being buggy now.
Really?
And it's driving me insane.
Oh, my copy of 2008 at home is okay, but I do need 2010. Visual Studios. Or Notepad++. I might just go Notepad++.
I might just do that as well.
Because my issue with... This is so... probably not even that important, but structures. The fact that Visual Studios doesn't recognize structures as structures, it recognizes them as class, it's like, oh, you suck. Like, I'd rather have a compiler that knows what a structure is.
Yeah.
Because it is a minor issue, but there's going to be that one time where I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
So, that's why I do that. So, yeah, I got very little done in C++. You were doing math.
Yeah.
I got the header file more or less done. Woo. And, so...
I know it's extremely loud.
So then we have an hour off, and I really wish we had 2 hours off Thursday. If we could have 2 hours between our 2 hours of C++ and our 4 hours of math, I think that would make the 4 hours of math a little bit more doable. But the fact that we're just settling into the calf, And especially if you have to wait in line at like teriyaki or something, you're fucked. You're just gonna finish and you're just gonna be starting to settle in and you're gonna be like, okay, time to go to class. But anywho, today was math, or then it was math. Today was nothing so far. But
are we not gonna talk about math? Math? It's interesting but boring at the same time because we do like 20 minutes of actual math.
Yeah, especially today. Oh my god, yesterday.
He was in story mode yesterday.
I loved yesterday.
Story mode.
I really
I wanted
liked
to
Jeff.
actually him to go over some more math instead of story mode. Like they're interesting stories and they're funny and entertaining, but
we
it
should
gets
do
to the
some
point
study
where he
sessions
needs
over
to.
the course of next week.
Yes.
To gradually prepare for this thing.
The
thing is, I want to work on Blender, so there's going to be nights where I'll work on Blender for a few hours, and then maybe study here with you and other people maybe for a couple hours, and then go home.
Do you want to wrap it up? Because,
What time is it? Oh, you want to study?
Yeah.
Well, so we're done. We did math, and then Thursday night we did nothing special, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh! No, I went to the pub.
Oh yeah, you went to the pub. How was that?
I had fun.
You had fun? Anything special?
I had a double white freezy.
Double white freezing?
Yeah. It was a huge cup, and she doubled everything. So yeah, I got a double white freezy for the price of one. Because they knew the person that was serving us, basically. Like the bartender.
Yeah.
And so she's like, here, I give you a double. It's like, what? I'm only charging you for the single, but I give you a double.
Legit.
Sweet.
Is that your ritual? Just every time you go to the bar, get one white freezy?
I get one white freezy. That's my ritual.
Really?
Yeah. It costs less than $5, so I'm like, sure.
Oh, man.
Why not?
That's nice.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
That's rough.
So, we would love to talk more, and we do have more to talk about. But we have a C++ midterm in like a few hours.
And
An hour and a half, I
pretty
think.
much.
Yeah, so guys, we'll see you next week with a longer one, but we got midterms, and they're more important.